A warm good morning to you all. Success is the result of courage, consistency, and the relentless effort. With this quote, we warmly welcome you all to the another episode of Civilspedia's daily current affairs analysis for the day of 28th November, brought to you by ShankarIASAcademy. And we also kindly request your subscription to the ShankarIASAcademy YouTube channel, and don't forget to click the bell icon for receiving on-time notification. And here are the list of topics taken for today's discussion. And the first topic is about the Constitutional Day celebration, and the second topic is about the Collegium system versus the National Judicial Appointments Commission, and the third topic is about the Basic Animal Husbandry Survey report of 2025, and the fourth topic is about the tribal arts and its contribution to the socio-economic empowerment, and the fifth topic is about the Prelims Focus, where we discuss important current affairs relevant for our UPSC prelims. President of India graces the Constitution Day celebration organized by the Supreme Court of India. With this news article from the Press Information Bureau, let's walk through the pages of the Indian Constitution in a fast manner to have a quick revision about the Indian Constitution and its components as well as its peculiar features. So the President of India has described the Indian Constitution as a constant source of India being the world's largest republic, and it also exemplifies the global world regarding the unity in diversity, and it also exemplifies the equality in the society along with the disparities present in the society and the peaceful social, economic and political revolution which shown the Indian nation as well as the Indian Constitution to a developed path, and the individual dignity has to be ensured and the national unity has been ensured, and the multi-layered multi-dimensional government system has been established and evolved under the Indian Constitution, and striking a balance between the continuity and change which is the necessary evolution that has to be undertook by the Indian Constitution. And with regarding the Constitution Day, it has been observed every year on the date of 26th November, and it marks the adoption of the Indian Constitution in the year of 1949. And the Constitution has been formally came into force only in the year of 1950 on 26th January, which is being celebrated as the Republic Day in India. Thus, the 26th November will be observed as the Adoption Day, which is the adoption day of Indian Constitution, and the 26th January will be observed or celebrated as the enforcement day only of the Indian Constitution. So this distinction has to be noted, and the day which spreads the awareness and of constitutional values, rights as well as the duties. And with respect to the structure of Indian Constitution, the preamble is the first part of the Constitution or the face of the Constitution, which states the ideals, values and guiding principles of the Constitution, and along with the 25 parts which organized in a proper manner of in the Constitution to have a thematic sections covering governance, rights, duties, institutions, as well as the federal structure of the Indian Constitution, and the inclusion of 12 schedules which provides a detailed and elongated list as well as the supplementary information such as related to the power, territories, languages and the administrative provisions with respect to the Indian governance. And the articles that has been elaborately mentioned in the Indian Constitution contain mainly of legal provisions governing the union as well as the states, and also the enumeration of rights in the rights of the citizens as well as the duties of the citizen, and the institution which involves the governance of the Indian Constitution, and also the procedure needs to be amended or the procedure for the amendments also being included in the article section. And with respect to the amendments, it reflects the changes made over time to have an update to the Indian Constitution for its properly updated to the contemporary manner, and also the refinement that needs to be undertook in the Indian Constitution to the changing environment, and adding provisions to the Constitution is also necessary for the time being change. And with respect to the features associated with the Indian Constitution, it is the longest written constitution India has, and it is the combining feature of many constitutions from the world, and it also been criticized for this lengthiest written constitution in the world, and also being criticized for its longly worded constitution, and it also being known as the ransacking of various constitutions from the globe. And it is also shown the blend of rigidity as well as flexibility, as some provisions of the Indian constitution can be amended easily and other requires the special provisions to amend, or and in some other provisions it needs special majority along with the state's ratification. So it shows the blend of both the rigidity as well as the flexibility. And the India and the Indian constitution follows the parliamentary system of government, which is being derived from the Britain constitution, as executive is responsible to the legislature, and the president will be the nominal head of the state, and prime minister is the real head of the state. So in Indian context, president is the de jure head of the state, and the prime minister will be the de facto ruler of the state. So this has to be noted for our UPSC prelims. And the derivation or the provision which has been derived from the various constitution of across the globe also need to be noted for UPSC prelims preparation. And with respect to the federal system with the unitary bias, it has been derived from the Canadian constitution. That is the division of power between the center and states, but the center holds the more or greater power with respect to the overriding powers. The classic example is the emergency provision in the Indian constitution. And the fundamental rights is also a peculiar feature which is being derived from the United States of America's constitution, which guarantees the right of the individual as well as the citizen as a right to equality and right to the freedom of expression and other rights, also the protection from the exploitation. And the basic and fundamental rights and the heart and soul of the Indian constitution is the right to have the constitutional remedy. It is the heart and soul of the Indian constitution. Is also an important provision or the important feature of the Indian constitution. And the directive principles of state policy, which is being derived from the Irish constitution, is the guiding principle to the state to ensure social and economic justice. And the fundamental duties, it has been later included in the Indian constitution through the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act for pinning the citizens' duties as well as the rights. And it has been derived from the United States of Soviet Russia. And the secular state is also an specific feature which is the equal respect has been provided to all the religion in the Indian environment, with the no state religion as a state religion. And the independent judiciary has been derived from the United States of America's constitution. That is the Supreme Court as the apex court with the judicial review powers. As the Supreme Court will be the apex body or the apex court for monitoring all the subordinate courts. And it also integrated with the integrated judiciary along with the independent judiciary. And India follows the method of single citizenship, as India has only one citizenship, that is Indian citizenship. Unlike federal countries, they follow dual citizenship. And with respect to the universal adult franchise, which is very important for our UPSC prelims, that ensures every citizens above the 18 years of age can vote. This provision was amended in the 61st Constitutional Amendment Act of 1988 by reducing the voting age from 21 years to 18 years. And the emergency provision, the center can take greater powers during the national or internal emergency situations. And the integrated judiciary feature, it is as we discussed earlier, it is an independent judiciary along with the integrated judiciary, as a unified court system of one unified court system has been provided along the country as a whole. And India follows the bicameral legislature for both center as well as state, and it is optional for the state to follow the bicameral legislature, but it is the mandatory and it is necessary for the center to follow bicameral legislature, that is upper house and lower house. It is of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha at the center. And with respect to the Rajya Sabha and municipalities, which is the basic feature which ensures the grassroots level democracy in the Indian constitution, the constitutional status of this local self-government bodies also been ensured through the 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Act respectively, and the special provisions has been made out for the socially backward classes such as the scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, as well as other backward classes and other religious minorities, which safeguards the rights and the duties of the backward class people, and also ensures their reservation into the employment as well as other educational provisions, and also establishment of separate commissions for monitoring and ensuring the social justice to that people. And the independent constitutional bodies also been a part of this Indian constitution, which is having the independent constitutional bodies such as election commission, which oversees the election of India, as well as the comptroller and auditor general of India, who is the guardian of the Indian purse, and the union public service commission, which is an important body for the recruitment of various Indian services, as well as the finance commission is also an important body which monitors the financing mechanism and the distribution of wealth across the union as well as state. And what is the need on the what is the put forward that has been recently insisted by the Indian president is the child friendly constitution, as children are already aware, or they may learn about the Indian constitution in the subject known as civics, but the child friendly version of the constitution is the need of the hour, which should be prepared by the constitutional experts and the children's author in various Indian languages to get to know about the Indian constitution from the early stage of their life itself, to have an early exposure to the constitutional ideals which help them to shape as a good and positive future citizens of India. Moving to the prelims practice question, which of the following is called the guardian of Indian constitution? Option A, the President of India. Option B, Supreme Court. Option C, Parliament. Option D, Prime Minister. And the answer for this question will be option B. Supreme Court will be the guardian of the Indian constitution. Yes. With this, we move to the next topic. CJSA will consider a plea to revive the National Judicial Appointments Commission and end the Collegium system. With this news article from The Hindu, let's have a quick overview about the National Judicial Appointments Commission as well as the Collegium system in detail from the UPSC Prelims point of view. So what is the context behind this news? On Constitutional Day, that is 26th November, a plea has been sought regarding the revival of National Judicial Appointments Commission, which has been stated orally mentioned before the present Chief Justice of India, Mr. Suryakant, and our Chief Justice of India also stated that the Supreme Court will surely consider the plea regarding the revival. And what is the plea that has been formally seeking with respect to this revival of National Judicial Appointments Commission and putting an end to the Collegium system, which is present system of appointing judges to the high courts as well as Supreme Courts. And the plea also further argues that the 2015 Supreme Court judgment with regarding the striking down of National Judicial Appointments Commission was a great wrong and as a blunder, and this decision of striking down the National Judicial Appointment Commission will substitute the will of the people, because it has been made out through the law and act of the parliament with the opinion of the judges. And it also further states that the Collegium is termed as an non-permanent body, and it is also nepotistic in nature and a riddle wrapped in a mystery. And why this National Judicial Appointments Commission has been struck down on the constitutional bench, which provided the judgment based on the case known as the Supreme Court's Advocates on Record Association versus Union of India in the year of 2015. It has made the National Judicial Appointment Commission as a void as well as unconstitutional, and strike down both the acts such as the 99th Constitutional Amendment Act and the National Judicial Appointments Commission Act of 2014. It has made the this both the acts invalidated through the voting of 4:1 in the ratio, and the reason has been stated as the violation of basic structure doctrine, which is basically the infringement of independence of judiciary as well as the separation of powers in the Indian Constitution. And what was this National Judicial Appointment Commission is of? It is a 6-member constitutional body to be established and to get it done by the appointment, it is made out for the appointment of judges to the high courts as well as Supreme Courts. It has been made out as an alternative to the present collegium system, but it was struck down by the Supreme Court in the previous judgment. And the composition of this National Judicial Appointment Commission will be consist of Chief Justice of India will be the chairperson, and it consists of 2 senior most judges of the Supreme Court and also the Union Law Minister, and the 2 eminent person who has been selected by the Prime Minister of India, Leader of Opposition, as well as the Chief Justice of India. And what are the key features associated with this National Judicial Appointment Commission? It gave equal representation as well as equal role to the executive along with the judiciary, and any 2 members could be vetoed by a candidate, which is the negative vote. They can be retained by any of the 2 members of the composition present in this National Judicial Appointment Commission, which is required for Supreme Court judges, High Court judges, as well as the Chief Justices of both the courts. And with respect to this collegium system, the nature will be it is a non-statutory body because it was not established through any act of the parliament, and it is evolved through the Supreme Court judgments. So it involves 3 major cases known as the first judge case, which involves which provides the primacy to the executives. So it states that the consultation is not it does not means the concurrence to the court. So this first judge case was made out in the year of 1981, and the second judge case gave the collegium system in the year of 1993, and it also stated that it has the say the Chief Justice of India has to mandatorily obtain the opinion from the 2 senior most judges of Supreme Court, and this the opinion of the Chief Justice of India will be binding and as well as obligatory over the Parliament. And the third judge case has reversed and the third judge case in the year of 1998 has expanded the purview of this collegium system, and the Chief Justice of India has to consult 4 senior most judges of the Supreme Court and clarified the consultation process. And what was the composition with respect to this collegium system? For the appointment of Supreme Court appointments, it has to be constituted of Chief Justice of India plus senior most Supreme Court judges. It is the third judge case with this composition has arrived. And for the High Court's appointment, it is composed of Chief Justice of India plus 2 senior most Supreme Court judges along with the concerned High Court collegium. And the major criticism over this collegium system is of it lacks transparency, and no formal selection criteria has been involved in this process, and the accusation of favoritism and nepotism over this collegium system, and it is not accountable to any of the executive body such as the legislature or the public forum. And what are the other terms or the other facts that has to be noted with respect to the constitutional and the legal points? The Article 124 is related to the appointment of Supreme Court judges, and Article 217, which is appointment dealing with the appointment of High Court judges, and Article 368, which is the constitutional amendment which establishes the constitutional amendments procedure and the basic structure doctrine, which is very important, which has been established and made out over the Kesavananda Bharati case in the year of 1973, which is the judicial on the basis the National Judicial Appointments Commission has been stricken down. And what is the reason that has been stated is the judicial independence, or it infringes the independence of judiciary, and it is also an essential feature of Indian Constitution, and the Constitutional Day was observed every year on the date of 26th November, which is the adaptation of Constitution in India in the year of 1949. And we also have to note about the 99th Constitutional Amendment Act introduced in the year of 2014 and struck down in the year of 2015 by the Supreme Court. It has been inserted the articles of 124A, 124B and 124C, and it has created the National Judicial Appointments Commission and empowered the Parliament to regulate its functioning, and it has been struck down in entirety because of infringing the independence of judiciary. Moving to the prelims practice question with reference to the National Judicial Appointments Commission, consider the following statement. And the first statement, the National Judicial Appointments Commission included members from both the judiciary and the executive. And the second statement, the 99th Constitutional Amendment Act created the National Judicial Appointments Commission. Which of the above statement is are correct? So by the earlier slide, we can able to answer this question that the National Judicial Appointment Commission will include inclusive of both the persons from the or both the members from the judiciary as well as executive will be the members. So the first statement was correct, and the second statement is also correct because the 99th Constitutional Amendment Act of 2014 created the body known as the National Judicial Appointments Commission. So both the statements are correct, and the answer is C. Yes. With this, we move to the next topic. This news article from the Press Information Bureau is about the recently released report known as the Basic Animal Husbandry Statistics of 2025 on the occasion of National Milk Day. And what is the context? The Basic Animal Husbandry Statistics of 2025 got released on the National Milk Day on 26th November, which is in remembrance of Dr. Varghese Kurian who spearheaded the Operation Flood to make the India sustainable as well as self-sustain in the milk production. And it is being released by the Ministry of State under the Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying, and it is being prepared by the Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairying under this ministry, which is also important for our UPSC prelims. And what is this Basic Animal Husbandry Survey report is of? It is an annual flagship publication of Department of Animal Husbandry and Dairying based on the integrated sample survey taken across the Indian territory, and it is the only national survey estimating the major livestock products, which is also important for our UPSC prelims. So it can be reflected in our UPSC 2026 prelims, and the period has been covered under the survey was 1st March of 2024 to 29th February of 2025. And what are the major livestock products covered under the survey is milk, eggs, meat and wool, which is also important for our UPSC prelims. So kindly note that it can also be reflected in our upcoming UPSC prelims, and it also provides the data such as state-wise data of this major livestock products, and also the per capita availability of this livestock products, and the number of animals used in the production of this products, as well as the artificial insemination numbers and the veterinary infrastructure that has been established, such as the hospitals, Goshala, etc. And also it also provides the comprehensive data for the international comparative data for this major livestock product. And with respect to the India's global ranking, comparatively, the products such as milk will be the India's major production, and India holds the first rank with related to this major livestock products. And the second position India got was the eggs production, and the India got the overall fourth rank in the meat production. And what are the key production estimates for the year of 2024 to 25? With respect to the milk production, the total production estimate was around 247.87 million tons, with the growth rate of over 3.58% between the years of 2023 to 24. This is not important fact, but what are the major important facts is the top 5 milk producing states in the Indian region or the Indian territory are Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat and Maharashtra. So the Uttar Pradesh topped the list with 15.66% of milk production in the Indian state. So it is very important. And with respect to the egg production, total production was around 149.11 billion eggs has been produced in the Indian territory, with the growth rate of 4.44 over 23 to 24 period. And the top 5 egg producing states are Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, West Bengal and Karnataka. And Andhra Pradesh tops the list with 18.37% of egg production in the between the years of 23 to 24, which will be very important. and with respect to the meat production, the overall total production was 10.50 million tons of meat production with the growth rate of 2.46%. And the top 5 meat producing states are West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, and Telangana. And the top meat producing state is West Bengal with the production of 12.46%. So with respect to the wool production, the total production was around 34.57 million kilograms, and the growth rate will be around 2.63%. And the top 5 wool producing states are Rajasthan, Jammu and Kashmir, Gujarat, Maharashtra, and Himachal Pradesh. So what are the top 4 major livestock producing states are Uttar Pradesh with respect to milk production, and Andhra Pradesh with respect to egg production, and meat production, West Bengal with respect to meat production, and wool production with Rajasthan with respect to wool production. So this will be very important for our UPSC prelims. And what is this integrated sample survey is of? It has been conducted on along 3 seasons, that is summer between March to June, and rainy between July to October, and winter from November to February. And it also provides nationally consistent estimates for the, which is also important for the Food and Agriculture Organization reporting. And moving to the prelims practice question, consider the following statement regarding the basic animal husbandry statistics. First, basic animal husbandry statistics is compiled annually based on the integrated sample survey conducted across 3 seasons in a year. Statement B, commercial poultry contributes more than 80% of the total egg production in India as per the basic animal husbandry statistics of 2025. And statement 3, Rajasthan contributes the highest share in the India's wool production. Which of the statements are correct? So in this question they have asked about the correct statement, and the first statement was correct because it was compiled annually and it has been based on the integrated sample survey conducted across the 3 seasons in a year. And the second statement is also correct because commercial poultry contributes 80% of total egg production in India. And third statement is also correct. And the answer for the question will be option D, 1, 2, and 3. Yes. With this, we move to the next topic. This news article from the Press Information Bureau explains in detail about the tribal arts and its contribution towards the socio-economic empowerment of the people and the celebration of India's living cultural heritage legacy, along with the background of India International Trade Fair. So what is the context and the significance of this news? India has around 705 scheduled tribes with the contribution to the population of around 8.6% to the overall population. And the India International Trade Fair, which has been conducted recently, the 44th edition, showcases the tribal arts as well as handicraft. And the theme will be Ek Bharat Shrestha Bharat, promoting unity through the cultural diversity. And the primary objective of this international trade fair is to highlight the economic contribution and the heritage preservation of tribal arts and handicrafts. And with respect to the tribal art and the Indian silk economy, India is the second largest producer of silk globally after China, and it is the only country producing all 4 commercial silks such as mulberry, tazar, eri, and muga. So it is also important for our UPSC prelims. And with respect to the silk sector, which employs around 9.76 million people across 52,000 villages across India. And the best example is the Gond artisan who is involving in the production of silk, known as the Silk Walke of Nagpur, who mainly involved in the production of sar silk Warli motifs, which is supported by the TriFed, which is an organization or the government body under the Ministry of Tribal Affairs. So what are the role of TriFed and the government support with respect to this tribal articrafts or the handicrafts as well as the tribal arts? The TriFed under the Ministry of Tribal Affairs will provide the capacity building initiatives such as the organization of self-help groups and provision of trainings and sensitization of this handicrafts and its importance, and the market development, as it is an cooperative marketing development body. It involves in the development of market for this tribal products, national and international exhibition of such tribal products, and market creating market for such products using the Adi Mahotsav initiative or the India International Trade Fair, and the brand creation. It has also been involved in the creation of tribal brands for encouraging the tribal products such as Tribes India brand and GI tags, that is geographical indication linked tribal products. And what was the outcome that has been expected from this is will be ensure the steady income of the people who are depending over the tribal products, or who are the tribal people who make this product, and the visibility for the tribal artisans. And what are the notable art forms that has been displayed in this fair will be the Warli art plays a major role in this trade fair, which is from the Maharashtra, which is using geometric patterns depicting community life. So it is very important not only for our UPSC prelims, it is also been stated or can be quoted in the UPSC mains also. And the second art is the Paitkar or Pyatkar from Jharkhand, which is one of the India's oldest narrative scroll painting, which is also important, using natural colors, depicts the myth, rituals, and as well as dances. And it is endangered art form which is being revived by the Jharkhand Kala Mandir. So it can be also quoted in the UPSC mains question. And the other art form is the Bareva art form of Madhya Pradesh, which is a scrap metal tribal sculpture by the Bareva people, which is also a type of subtribe belong to the Gond tribe, and which depicts the deities, ornaments, and decorative items of this tribal people. And with respect to the women's participation and the self-help group impacts, the major impact provided by the Gujarat's applique, which is a type of needlework or the artwork made out by the women, and the mirror work of this women people towards the tribal fair as well as the tribal product with respect to the self-help groups of Banaskanda region. And more than 300 plus women are benefiting from the Tri-Fed supported marketing activities, and they have got the exposure at the Adi Mahotsav, which is also an tribal marketplace or the tribal place for where the tribal products got exhibited for trade, and which opens the gate for new buyers and expanded the income base of the tribal people. The perfect example is that the products made out of cotton or the cotton silk are gaining national audience widely. And what are the broader developmental perspective associated with this news article is the cultural preservation and the economic inclusion of such people into the common mainstream, which aligns with the tribal empowerment under the Article 46 of the Indian Constitution, which protects the weaker section of the society, and the enforcement of this PESA Act, which is the Panchayati Raj Extension of Services Act of 1996 and the Forest Right Act of 2006, will be empower the community-based livelihood of the tribal people, and the geographical indication tag also opens the gate for more avenues for the tribal people, and the one district one product scheme will also make the tribal product to the national level, which have the market access for this products. And the inclusive growth will be done through this implementation of such schemes, and the strengthening of rural creative industries also be possible under these schemes. And the support of India's vision of attaining the 5 trillion economy with the cultural industries as a growth engine. So apart from the other manufacturing sectors and other service sectors, the tribal and the cultural sectors also contributes for the growing economy or the growing economy of the India to attain the 5 trillion economy. And what is the conclusion? The India International Trade Fair of 2025 has illustrated a national push to preserve the tribal art, strengthening artisan livelihoods, and celebrate India's cultural diversity through structured institutional support such as from the tri-fed state governments as well as self-help groups. Moving to the mains practice question, the question is discuss the role of institutions such as tri-fed in preserving tribal art forms and enhancing socio-economic developments of scheduled tribes in India. Illustrate with recent examples. This is a 15-word question and we need to answer within 250 words. So take this question and make your answer and post it in the comment section given below. We will evaluate and give the feedback in the comment section itself. With this, we move to the Prelims Focus. Coming to the Prelims Focus, and the first topic is about the famous folk dance known as the Garba Dance of Gujarat. This Garba is a dance that honors, worships, and celebrates the feminine form of divinity. And the word Garba comes from the Sanskrit word known as the Garba, which means womb. And traditionally, the dance is performed by women in a circular pattern or circling around a clay lantern with the light inside, which is known as the Garba Deep. And it was commonly performed at the festivals and on special occasions in the state of Gujarat. So it is majorly famously associated with the Indian region of Gujarat. So it is to be noted from the UPSC Prelims point of view, and it is commonly and majorly performed during the 9-day Hindu festival of Navaratri, and it is also being enumerated in the representative list of intangible cultural heritage on humanity of UNESCO, and it includes singing and a musical accompaniment traditionally provided by dole, which is a double-headed drum, and the similar but smaller version known as the dolak is also accompanied with this dance, and hand clapping will also be included, and assorted metallic idiophones will also be used during this performance, such as the cymbals can be inducted in this dance form. And moving to the next topic is the Unique Identification Authority of India recently deactivates more than 2 crore Aadhaar numbers of deceased individuals or deceased persons. It is an statutory authority, that is the Unique Identification Authority of India is a statutory authority established under the provision of Aadhaar Targeted Delivery of Financial and Other Subsidies, Benefits and Services Act of 2016. So it has been established or launched in the year of 2016 by the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. And this Aadhaar Act of 2016 has been amended by the Aadhaar and Other Laws Amendment Act of 2019 in the year of 2019. And what is the peculiarity associated with this Unique Identification Authority of India? No Aadhaar number is ever reassigned to another individual. So the number will not be repeated and it cannot be assigned to another person. And the primary objective is to issue the unique identification numbers named as Aadhaar to all the residents of India. And this unique identification provision will robust enough to eliminate the duplicates in the Aadhaar system or the Aadhaar identification as well as the fake identities held by the person, and it is also verifiable and authenticatable in an easy and cost effective manner. And the next topic is about the Legal Information Management and Briefing System, which is shortly known as the LIMS. It is a web-based portal which is developed by the Department of Legal Affairs under the Ministry of Law and Justice. So it is very important for our UPSC Prelims that a probable question can be reflected in the UPSC Prelims with related to the LIMS, which is a web-based portal, and it was developed by the Ministry of Law and Justice. And the primary objective is to create a national portal of all cases pending in the various courts, tribunals as a part of the e-governance initiative. So it can also be included in our mains answer writing with related to the e-governance question. And moving to the prelims practice question, which of the following situations would not fall under the Unique Identification Development Authority, Unique Identification Authority of India's statutory mandate under the Aadhaar Act of 2016? Option A, verifying the authenticity of biometrics submitted during Aadhaar enrollment. Option B, issuing directions to the state governments on how Aadhaars should be used for welfare schemes. Option C, framing regulations for data security and storage of Aadhaar information by requesting entities. Option D, handling grievances related to misuse of an individual's Aadhaar data by an authentication agency. So the answer for this question can be easily inferred that the option B is the odd one out, because it doesn't issue any direction to the state government on how Aadhaar should be used as a for the welfare scheme. So the answer may be option B. Let's check. Yes. With this, we came to the conclusion of this episode. Hope you guys like the video. Please share your positive comments and suggestions in the comment section given below, and share the video to your friends. And don't forget to click the subscribe button and the bell icon for receiving on-time notification. Thank you for watching us. Have a great day.